What's going on, everybody? Thank y'all for clicking on this video today. If y'all new to the channel, like the content, please make sure to like and subscribe like always. Would be very much appreciated. But today, we gotta talk about UFC that just happened this past weekend because the GOAT finally came back. And I'm not talking about Conor McGregor. I know y'all's GOAT, a lot of y'all's GOAT is Conor McGregor. But if I want to be honest with y'all, I don't think this man is ever gonna get back in the octagon. Honestly, every single time I see Conor McGregor, he is doing everything but fighting. You know what I mean? And he got his own fighting company now, and I just don't see it happening, so I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the actual GOAT, my GOAT, a lot of people's GOAT, and that is Jon Bones Jones. He came back into the octagon this recent weekend, and he fought name-wise, he fought a great fighter, Stipe Miocic, right? So Jon Jones, right? Obviously, we all know who Jon Jones is. If you've been watching UFC, you will know who Jon Jones is. He is the greatest fighter to ever fight in the octagon. Never lost. Obviously, he still has that loss in his record because he got disqualified for illegal elbows, which is kind of crazy because now that illegal elbow is legal now. So I think they were talking about, taking that loss off of his record. But anyways, he was fighting this weekend. I think it's been like 2 years or a year and a half since his last fight, which I saw. It was against oh my god, what's his name? It was against Ciryl Gane. That was his last fight, and that was his first time going to heavyweight. And if y'all did not watch that fight, let me tell you, absolute domination. First round, cleaned him out. Submitted him, which and kind of crazy because it looked like he didn't even really choke him like that. Like it was kind of weird. Go look at that fight and you know what I mean. It was a very weird choke, but he choked him out, and that was the best heavyweight that they had to offer. You know what I mean? And he just cleared him out just like that. So there goes Jon Jones again, getting another belt in another division, and still, you know what I mean? Still the GOAT. Like I said, he's been out of the ring out of the octagon for a little bit, and he was gonna come back against arguably the best heavyweight of all time, Stipe Miocic. Has some great fights with DC. You know what I mean? So that's how I know who Miocic is, because this is fights with DC. They had a good rivalry and stuff like that. But obviously, the Francis Ngannou fight was his last fight 4 years ago. Let's keep that in mind. 4 years ago. So it's been a while since he's been in the octagon. But if y'all didn't see that fight with Francis Ngannou, he got knocked out bad, really bad. That fight was actually in the bubble, I think, when the COVID was happening. And I remember it because he hit, I think, Francis Ngannou with an overhand right or something, and it kind of dazed him. So he completely went and tried to go finish the fight, ran up to him, and Francis Ngannou, he is the strongest heavyweight of all time. He just check hooked him while he came in and knocked him out clean. Yeah, I think Miocic after that said he's probably not going to go back into the octagon unless he gets the title fight again, which 4 years later he finally gets against Jon Jones. I think Jon Jones wanted to have him in his resume because Miocic is a very, very respected fighter. Like I said, arguably the best heavyweight of all time. You know what I mean? So I guess Jon Jones wanted that in his record. So yeah, Miocic was finally coming back in the ring. And honestly, if y'all didn't know, this fight was actually supposed to happen a while back, but obviously Jon Jones freaking tore something in his shoulder while he was training. And yeah, they had to, push back the fight. So this fight actually was supposed to happen a little bit ago, but it's happening now. But yeah, this fight has been in the talks for a while, but it finally happened. And I was like, Miocic hasn't been in the octagon for 4 years. I wonder if that's going to be a big factor in the fight. And honestly, as we get into talking about the actual fight, it definitely did. I don't know. I think it's because Miocic he's in his 40s now. Jon Jones is like 38, 37. But yeah, you could just tell as soon as the first round happened, Miocic just looked very slow. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people started catching on to that. Miocic just looked like he's a little older now and stuff like that, and he's not gonna be looking the same. But yeah, I would say not being in the octagon for 4 years definitely was a big factor because he's older and stuff like that, and ring rust. That's always a thing. So yeah, he definitely didn't look like the same Miocic that we always seen. In terms of Jon Jones, even though he's been gone for a little bit too, with his shoulder injury, he looked pretty good in there. He looked actually really good, and I'm happy that I was able to see more of him because his last fight with Ciryl Gane obviously ended in like 3 minutes. You know what I mean? So this one we were finally able to see how he is, and like I said, it's Jon Jones. This dude is really good at fighting, really good. The thing that makes Jon Jones so good too is his versatility. The dude can wrestle. First of all, the dude is great at wrestling. And when he's on his feet, bro, his versatility on the feet when he's fighting, it's amazing, bro. He has different types of kicks. You know what I mean? He could do a 1-2 and turn around and give you an elbow. His elbows are ridiculous, like that. It's a lot you gotta be worried about when you fight John Jones, and that's why he's so good, because he can do almost everything in there. You know what I mean? So he's very versatile, and that's why he's such a dangerous fighter. And you could tell that Miocic understood that throughout the whole fight. John Jones was hitting him with some great front kicks to the freaking what is it called? I think I saw Usman call it the bread basket. That's like right between like your chest and your stomach. There's just air pocket in there that if you get hit, it would literally take out all your air, which is, I would never want to get hit in there. You know what I mean? So he kept hitting Miocic with that. Like I said, it's just a lot that Miocic had to, be worried about. I'm not trying to say that Miocic didn't try to win this fight. You know what I mean? You could just tell like there's a difference. Somebody's older, the other guy, even though they're kind of still kind of old. You know what I mean? One of them is definitely a lot older. Hasn't been in the ring, you can tell, or the octagon. He hasn't been in there in a while. So Miocic, he was just in there trying to figure John Jones out, and he didn't have an answer to anything that John Jones was giving him. But then the big finish happened. I forgot what round. I think he was either round 3 or 4. Actually, I might have to look, because my prediction was I thought John Jones was going to stop him in round 4. So let me actually see what round it was, because if I got that right, then my prediction was right. You know what I mean? So let me go ahead and see what round he stopped Miocic in. Damn, I was one off. It was round 3. 30 seconds. Yeah, 30 seconds left. He stopped him in round 3. Really good stoppage, not stoppage, but really good finish too with John Jones. Spinning kick, right in the liver. Well, I don't know if it was the liver, but right in the stomach area where he was hitting him the whole freaking fight. And yeah, Miocic was done after that. He went down. John Jones with a little bit of ground and pound, and that was it. That was the fight, and John Jones was the winner. And very impressive, honestly, very impressive performance by John Jones coming back after the injury, still looking really good. Obviously, the worry about it was after this fight, was he going to retire, or was all these talks and stuff like that? But obviously, in a post-fight interview, he said he's not thinking about retiring. So let's go ahead and talk about who he could fight, because that's another big story about John Jones that's been going on throughout the whole week of this fight. You know what I mean? The media wants to know who he wants to fight, and there's one guy that a lot of people want to see. One guy is Tom Aspinall. Now look, Tom Aspinall is a dog. This guy is super quick in the heavyweight division. He has, young guy too, very strong. He has stopped a lot of good fighters and everything like that. But it seems like John Jones doesn't want any smoke with that, honestly. And that's me, me being honest with you. John Jones is the greatest of all time, but he definitely looks like he doesn't want anything to do with Tom Aspinall, which is kind of like, come on, bro, because that's literally the fight to make. That's the next fight that should be made. If you want to still be the heavyweight champion of the world, you need to fight the best. And I just think Tom Aspinall is the best. Now, what John Jones thinks is that he doesn't want to, what he says is he doesn't want to fight dangerous opponents that are younger than him. You know what I mean? He wanted to go against the guys who are already established in the UFC, which is Alex Pereira. And he has a point there, because Alex Pereira is definitely established and probably the superstar in the UFC. So that fight would definitely be a huge fight too. But if you want to talk about fighting the guy, the fight that makes more sense, it's got to be Tom Aspinall, because he's a champion. You know what I mean? He's the interim champion. So it's like, I think you should go for this guy. Question is, do I think John Jones is ducking? Well, I got to keep the same energy, because I remember when I used to not bash, but I used to talk about and criticize Canelo for not fighting Benavidez, for ducking him and stuff like that. So I got to keep the same energy here, and I got to say that John Jones is ducking Tom Aspinall. I got to say it, because, you're saying you don't want to fight the guy because he's too dangerous and he's too, he's younger than you. Come on, bro. Yeah, you're ducking the smoke. I got to be honest. But like he said, he's going to talk to Hunter. He's going to talk to Dana White and see what they got next. I know Dana White is going to try to push this Tom Aspinall fight, but I think realistically they're going to probably go with Alex Pereira. But if we get the Tom Aspinall versus John Jones fight, that is the biggest fight in UFC right now. I think it is. That's probably the biggest fight in UFC. But if they call Alex Pereira and say, hey, you want to fight this guy, and they get this fight happening, bro, I'm there. You know what I mean? Because I still think this fight will be great. Alex Pereira versus John Jones, that's a great fight. But I think John Jones beats Alex Pereira, just because how versatile he is. And I think John Jones, if he really wants to, all he can do is all right, I'm not messing with this on the feet. Alex Pereira is a kickboxer. Let me take this guy down. And I think he would demolish Alex Pereira on the floor. You know what I mean? So I would think John Jones would win this fight. But yeah, I just want to come out here real quick and talk about my reaction of the whole UFC event. By the way, Charles Oliveira got the W against Michael Chandler. If y'all don't know, Charles Do Bronx is my favorite fighter, and he did his thing. You know what I mean? He went in there, and it was a great fight. Michael Chandler always puts on the performance. I gotta shout out Michael Chandler for, putting on a performance like he always does for the fans. So like that crazy moment when he literally had Oliveira on his back, and he just jumped back, landed on him, bro. That was too funny. I was laughing. But yeah, I did get a little worried though, because Oliveira did get like hurt and stunned really bad in the last round. And I was like, all right, bro, we got to chill out. We cannot see, I do not want to see him get back-to-back L's. You know what I mean? Oliveira is back, and I'm going to say it. I still need to see that rematch against Makhachev. I know that's not going to happen anytime soon, but I need to see it. There's no way Oliveira just lost like that, bro. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed the video like always. If y'all new to the channel, like the content, please make sure to like and subscribe like always. Other than that, I'll see y'all on the next one.